So welcome friends, today we are gonna see what if Naruto was got harem with Kari, Wormmon, Naruto's relationship survive movie. Two figures stood opposite of each other, one shrouded in darkness, the other in light. They stood across one another, neither said anything or moved. The one in darkness held out his hand and blue lightning started to form and crackle within his palm. The one in light held out his hand. A blue orb began to form upon his palm. As if someone had shouted go, the two ran towards each other. Rasengan. Chidori. The two attacks collided, which resulted in a huge explosion. Ah! A blond boy of 13 years of age sat straight up in his bed. He looked around his room, taking in his surroundings. Blue eyes scanned the area, searching before it all came back to him. A dream, he breathed out. He took in the sight of the room, light orange walls, a desk with an orange top laptop computer sitting upon it. In one corner he could see his soccer ball with his cleats next to the ball. His bookshelf had his favorite books upon it along with a few mangas. He looked over at his nightstand. His phone sat upon a charger. Next to it was his digivice. He faced an orange and black comforter that laid over his legs still. He shook his head lightly. "I thought you were in control of my dreams?" Naruto thought to himself, seemingly. "Not all of them," a voice inside his head spoke. "I can only control them to an extent, but sometimes a dream like that one will slip through." Kurama, the voice in his head, stated. Kurama was once a fierce nine-tailed demon fox, who was once sealed inside Naruto. But thanks to certain events, Kurama was released from the seal back in the blonde's old world when he died. Instead of going to the afterlife, Naruto was brought to the digital world to help save it. He ended up doing most, if not all, the work. He did have help from his partner Digimon Wormmon, whom the blonde missed. But back to the fox. Kurama was found to still be tucked away inside the blonde's subconscious. Given that the two did merge several times, a piece of the fox was left behind. Now, the fox helps his blonde friend with the memories and knowledge that was stored inside his head. This was compliments of the sovereigns, god-like creatures of the digital world. They were the ones that brought Naruto to the digital world. They were the ones that put the memories and knowledge he now had into his head. It was a lot of information, so much so that the blonde could not sort through it all, at least not by himself. That's where Kurama came in. The fox, unknown to the blonde, sat in front of a computer. The device represented Naruto's mind. The files on it were his memories and knowledge. It was thanks to this that Kurama could help the blonde out. "What time is it?" Naruto looked to the clock. "Shit, I am going to be late," Naruto cursed. He then got out of bed and rushed over to his closet. "Late? For what? School doesn't start for another hour and, oh," realization struck the fox. "Yeah, I am going to walk with Kari-chan to school," Naruto stated as he slipped on his dark blue pants. "You two started dating, when again?" "A month ago," Kurama mused. "Yeah, and no one knows yet, not even Tai," Naruto chuckled a bit at that. He slipped on a black shirt with a green silhouette of a wasp on the chest, "so it's going to surprise everyone at school," Naruto stated as he grabbed his orange track jacket. It was his soccer jacket. On the right side of the chest area was a C signaling him as the captain. On the back of the jacket was the number 9, his jersey number. It was ironic, seeing as he was the 9th child and he had the 9-tail fox sealed within him. "Bye mom, bye dad, I am leaving early," Naruto stated to his parents as he went to the door to slip on his shoes. "Why so early, honey?" his mom, Kushina, asked him. In his old world his mother had died after he was born, but the sovereigns were able to manipulate this world to have his mother in it. It was their way of saying thanks. His father too was brought back. "He's probably going to see Kari," Minato, Naruto's father, stated as he sipped his morning coffee. He sat in front of a laptop at the table. He was a writer and a pretty good one too. He already had 2 bestsellers and working on a 3rd. "At least eat something. I made pancakes," Kushina stated as she took off her apron revealing green scrubs. She was a surgeon for the local hospital, hence the green scrubs. "No time," Naruto mentioned. He did love his mother's pancakes. But he was running late. He tapped his foot on the ground to make sure that the shoe was on right. Then grabbed his bag. He then grabbed his goggles, the ones he had when he got to the digital world. They were hanging on the hat rack near the door. He slipped them on over his head to hang around his neck. "Okay. I'll be home late. I got a student council meeting after school today." Naruto ran up and gave his mom a kiss on the cheek, and his father a nod. He then went out the door to head to his girlfriend's place. "Oh, he's always pushing himself," Kushina stated, somberly. XXX same to you pal. Naruto shouted at the guy that threw a cuss word his way. The idiot almost ran him over. He flipped the guy the bird then continued on to the apartment complex that was his destination. As he walked up to the building he saw a girl around his age come out the doors. Short brown hair with a part of it clipped up out of her eyes. Her shirt was a white and pink top with no sleeves, tucked into a pair of green shorts that was held up by a brown belt with a silver buckle. Pink and white shoes were on her feet, and she also wore pink gloves that didn't cover her fingers. The gloves went up to just below her shoulders. Around her neck was the camera that Naruto had bought her last year for her birthday. It was a simple digital camera that slid open when you pulled the sides and closed when they were pushed back together. She saw the blonde coming and was immediately surprised. Naruto-kun, what are you doing here? She asked. Normally the blonde would be at the entrance to the school waiting on her. This was a first. I came to walk you to school, he said simply. You never have before, she stated. Well, you weren't my girlfriend before, he mentioned. This caused the girl to blush. She had her head down, but Naruto could see the smile on her face. True, she mumbled. Hey Kari, wait up. Naruto froze when he heard Tai's voice. The boy in question had a high school uniform on. A green blazer over a white button-up shirt, and green slacks. The blue sweatband around his head along with the goggles stood out. Oh hey Naruto, what are you doing here? I came to walk Kari-chan to school, Naruto stated. Why? Tai asked. Naruto didn't know how to answer. Tai, you don't have to know everything. Anyway, I'll see y'all later, Kari stated as she grabbed Naruto and started to walk off. Okay, see y'all later. Tai started to walk towards where the high school was located. I take it Tai still doesn't know? Naruto asked Kari as he took her hand. He will soon enough, Kari answered with a giggle. The real question is how are your fangirls going to react? Kari had a sly grin as she looked at her blonde boyfriend. The blonde grew depressed with that. Well, it's your fault I have them in the first place, Naruto huffed. How so? Kari gave a what are you talking about? Look. Well, some are that way cause I am the vice president of the student council. Naruto turned his gaze to the brown-haired girl. And whose fault is it that I am on the dumb council? Who? Kari asked knowing the answer. She actually loved it when Naruto got riled up. She thought he was cuter than usual when he was. You, that's who, Naruto stated. Me? No, Kari stated in mock denial. Yes you. You were the one to nominate me for it. Then you go and put up all those vote for Naruto signs. Naruto grumbled, and because of my academics plus my club activities along with my position on the soccer team, I won in a landslide. Kari giggled. Well, you're always wanting stuff to do. I have stuff to do, Naruto huffed. He let go of her hand so he could better count his activities. He held up his index finger. I am captain of the soccer team. His middle finger went up with his index finger. I am president of the archery club. His ring finger soon joined the others. I am president of the kendo club. His pinky shot up next. And now I am vice president, which automatically makes me class rep. He held up his thumb at the last part of the sentence. If I didn't have fangirls before. Boy do I have them now, Naruto grumbled out. Kari grabbed his hand and gave it a comforting squeeze. It's okay. Naruto let out a sigh of relief. Thanks. He looked up to the sky. What sucks is how many girls confessed their love to me before the summer break, Naruto mentioned. I had gotten 3 love letters, and 5 girls who came up to confess to me. He let out another sigh. I hated to deal with it, but they had to know that I am in love with somebody else, Naruto stated. This caused the girl holding his hand to blush. So really? Naruto turned a grin to Kari. You should be worrying about my fangirls. The crazy ones at least. The two shared a laugh at that. XXX Davis was pissed. He was seething when he saw who was holding hands with Kari. I hate that Naruto. He gets everything. Captain of the soccer team, which should have been me. All those fangirls. And now he has Kari. She's supposed to be my girl. Davis thought angrily as he split his pencil in half from bending it. Class, we have a new student, the teacher stated as a boy walked in through the door. Naruto and Kari gasped. This is Takeru Takaishi. The boy waved. You can call me TK. He was wearing a blue and yellow long-sleeve shirt, light green shorts, and green shoes. A white bucket hat was on his head covering shaggy blonde hair. TK. Naruto and Kari called at the same time. Naruto and Kari. Hey, TK walked to the two at their 3-person desk. A seat was available for the new blonde. "Hey Naruto," said, walking up to his old friend. They started to do their secret handshake they came up with a couple years ago. An up and down fist bump, followed by a bump of the knuckles. Then a slap of their hands. The hands came back to slap knuckles. They then thrust their hands forward to lock thumbs. Following the momentum of the thrust, they locked hands. Then their free hands came to rest upon top of their grip. The other's hands pushed the grip down to where it turned into a handshake. They then pulled their hands apart, but locked fingers before doing so. They pulled then let go to where they did another up and down fist bump. Then bumped their knuckles together. This time, when their knuckles bumped, they exploded the hands outward. They began to share a laugh once they were done. "I can't believe you remembered that," TK commented. "Me neither." Naruto sat down next to Kari and TK sat next to Naruto. "Why didn't you tell me you were coming to this school?" "I wanted to surprise you," TK stated with a smile. "Wait, you knew he was coming back?" Kari asked, shocked. "Why didn't you tell me?" "It was a surprise," Naruto stated. He sent a gaze to his friend. "Although he turned the surprise on me." TK started to laugh, which caused the other two to laugh as well. TK had moved away with his mother. After she and his dad divorced, she had gotten a great job offer here and moved back so she could be closer to it. Naruto knew this cause he and TK kept in contact after the boy had left. Naruto and TK had been best friends ever since they met in the digital world. If it wasn't for Naruto, TK wouldn't have believed in himself so much. "You know our teacher looks like Wormmon," TK commented, causing the other two to laugh at the inside joke. "Who is that guy?" Davis asked under his breath. "How does he know Naruto and Kari?" Davis sent a heated glare at the two blondes a couple seats in front of him. The school day went on pretty normally. Nothing major or exciting happened at all during that time. Naruto, TK and Kari were sitting in their home room. Kari was seated in her chair. TK was sitting in his chair to where the back was in his front. Naruto was leaning back against the desk with his bottom slightly on the top. He was telling his two friends about one summer trip he and his parents had taken a year ago. "So when I hit the wave, I stayed on the board for only a few seconds. Then I wiped out." Kari and TK laughed at Naruto's surf mishap story. "Hey, it was my first time on the board. The instructor said it was a pretty good shot." He faked pout. "Besides, the end of the summer I surfed every wave, only whipping out when the wave was too much for me." Just as he was finished with his story, a girl with long purple hair and glasses. She had a bandana over her head to hold her hair back. She wore a red top with long sleeves and a long jean skirt. She had light red shoes on her feet with a little bit of white in them. "Kari-san?" she asked as she walked up to the group of friends. "Yeah?" Kari asked when she heard the girl. "You're Yole Inoue, right?" Naruto asked, recognizing the girl. She had ran against him in the election of vice president. Naruto would have backed down and let the girl have it, but Kari wouldn't have it that way. "Oh, Naruto-senpai," she bowed to her VP. "It is a pleasure seeing you, sir," she stated, being formal to the boy on the student council. "Please, no formalities, I hate that stuff," Naruto stated. "So what did you want with Kari-chan?" "Oh, that's right." She turned her attention to the girl in question. "Do you know a Tai Kamiya?" "Yeah, that's my brother." "Why?" Kari asked, getting a bad feeling. "Well, he sent this email," she showed them on her handheld. Naruto looked over the girl's shoulder and read the message, "SOS. Digital world in trouble, need help." Naruto didn't put emotion into the sentence, but got the message as Tai screaming for help. Then a girl around their age came into the room. "Naruto-senpai, the council meeting is starting. Hurry before you lose a demerit," the girl announced. "Damn it, I forgot about the stupid council meeting," Naruto cussed as he slammed his fist on the desk that was behind him. "Naruto-kun, go to the meeting. TK and I will help my brother," Kari announced. "But what if something happens?" Naruto asked, concerned. "It'll be fine, now go." Kari shooed him away. Naruto obeyed. As he was leaving the classroom, he heard Kari ask that Yole girl something. He didn't hear it, for he was being dragged away by the girl from earlier. She was the secretary and also in charge of making sure everyone attended the meetings. XXX Naruto hated the council meetings, they were all so boring. He didn't even do much, all he was in charge of was planning school events. He had to run everything by the president, but the guy was so laid back that Naruto could plan almost anything and the guy would accept it. They had gone over a few boring things, then said that he was to have something planned for a festival. The festival was still a few months away, but they were giving him notice so he could plan something. other than that the meeting was the same boring as it always was. He headed to the computer lab, cause he had gotten a text from Kari saying they were in there. When he went to go in, he was shocked to see Davis, Yole, and a kid from the kendo club. He was a new member, so the boy's name escaped him. Then he remembered it to be Cody, but still he wondered why the three were they anyway. He had walked in on when Izzy had just finished explaining about the digital world. Yole was the first to notice him in the doorway. "Naruto-senpai?" Yole asked. She then bowed. Cody was shocked too. "Naruto-sama." The boy also bowed for his senior. "What are you doing here, Naruto?" Davis asked as he blocked the blonde's entrance. "This doesn't concern you, beat it." "The question is, why are you here?" Naruto asked, pointing a finger at him. "You wouldn't understand, Vice President." Davis said the word with venom. Naruto wondered briefly why, then remembered that the boy too had ran for the position, but he was self-nominated. No one seconded it. He still tried though, but was no match for the blonde's popularity in the school. "I think I would," Naruto commented. He then ventured a guess. Digitistine. Davis and the other two newcomers were shocked to hear the boy say the word. "How did you?" Davis was cut off by Naruto holding up his digivice. The blonde was glad he always carried it with him. "I am one of the original 9, Naruto stated. "Naruto-sama is right, that is like Izzy and the others." The boy looked at his yellow-gripped digivice, "but nothing like ours." "So what happened?" Naruto asked, but no one answered. Davis, "Why don't you and the other two go home? Me and everyone else are going to stay behind for a bit." Davis looked at Tai with shock. "But he never finished as Tai had giving him a light glare. "Okay, fine." The boy left mumbling something about Naruto ruining everything for him. When they had left, Naruto walked up to the others. "Okay, what happened? And why is Davis wearing your goggles?" The blonde looked towards Tai. "Listen, me and Izzy are going to gather the others, and we'll meet at the park near the playground in 2 hours. I'll explain it to you then as well as to the others," Tai instructed. Naruto let out a sigh. Fine. He felt a pat on his back and turned to see Kari was the one doing the patting. "Don't worry, why don't we go to that ramen bar you like so much?" Kari suggested as a way to lift the boy's spirits. "Sure." He turned to TK. "You want to come with?" TK nodded. Kari looped her arms through both blonde's arms, then led them out the door. "Well, let's get going." "XXX, the gang's all here," Sora stated, looking around at the gathered 8 digitistine. "Too bad Mimi couldn't make it. I talked to her, she says she wishes she was there, and to tell Palman she said hi," Izzy stated. "Too bad she had to move to America," Sora stated with a saddened look. "So, Matt started from his seated spot on a swing, armor digivolution?" "Yeah," Tai nodded. He was standing next to Izzy by the slide. "I wasn't able to lift the Digiegg of Courage even though I had the Crest of Courage. When I touched it the first time 3 new digivices came out." "So that's how the other 3 got theirs?" Joe asked, standing between Matt and Sora. "Yeah, plus Davis was able to pick up the Digiegg, then a new Digimon came out from underneath it. Vmon I think was his name," Tai stated. "Then his Digimon partner was able to armor digivolve, whereas Agumon couldn't even digivolve." "That's strange," TK stated. He was leaning against a tree across from where his brother sat. "Yeah," Tai nodded his head in agreement. "Agumon said it had something to do with those weird spires that had shown up. The one called the Digimon Emperor apparently is behind Tay Towers." "Digimon Emperor?" Sora asked. "I have no idea who he is. He wears a helmet that covers his whole head. The helmet has a reflective lens cap in the front, so I can't see who it is," Tai stated somberly. "He was also able to take control of Digimon by using these things called dark rings," Kari stated. She was standing next to Naruto. Her arm was looped around his and she was leaning against the blonde. Sora saw the close contact. She didn't comment though, and according to Gataman, he has a digivice that is similar to Davis and the others. "That's weird," Joe stated. "I thought only Digitistine had those." "I don't get it either, Joe," Tai stated. "I would like to find out though." "Well," Izzy started, "this is a fine mess we have here, but we might as well clean it up." "Yeah," Naruto started. Since that explanation is over, he turned his gaze to Tai. "Why was Davis wearing your goggles?" Naruto motioned to the ones around his neck to add visual aid. "Well, the goggles symbolize him as the leader," Tai shrugged. "And you really think he can handle it?" Naruto asked. He never moved from his position. He and Kari were near TK. "Yeah," Tai answered with confidence. "Okay, Well, see, Naruto sighed out. If that's over, Sora started. She then turned a teasing gaze to Naruto and Kari. When did you two start dating? The two in question began to blush madly. What? Tai shouted. He pointed at Kari. You two are dating. When were you going to tell me? Why didn't you tell me? Calm down. Naruto motioned his hands to calm the boy. We only started a month ago. Did you defile my sister? Tai made his way towards the two. Tai. Kari shouted with an angry look and a blush on her face. What? No. Naruto stated, just as embarrassed as his girlfriend by the question. Tai, calm down, Matt stated, annoyed. Don't tell me to calm down, Tai shouted at the other boy. You know Naruto can kick your ass, right? Matt stated. He did go toe-to-toe with the Dark Masters. I don't care, don't you dare do anything to her, Tai gave the blonde a heated glare. Relax, the most we've done is some heavy kissing, I mean light kissing. Naruto was quick to recover, but that didn't calm the older boy down. What? You've kissed already? Why didn't you two tell me? How did I not see it? Tai combined the two questions. Well, you have always been dense, Matt commented, causing everyone to laugh at Tai's expense. Back to serious business, Izzy stated. Who all is going to the digital world tomorrow? I am, Sora stated. I can't, my band just got a gig and we gotta practice for it, Matt stated. I can't either, I got term papers coming up that I gotta get ready for, Joe stated, saddened. He really wanted to see Wormmon again. I am going back, Tai stated. I am going too this time, Izzy said after Tai's statement. Me too, TK said, and me, Kari said. Naruto had a sad look on his face. I can't, I got an archery club meeting. Well, that's okay, we all can't go, Tai stated. Well, let's all head home, Matt stated. The others started to go their separate ways. Tai looked at them all. Naruto, Tai called to the blonde, can you hang back for a second? Naruto looked at Kari, going on, it'll be along soon. He gave her a soft kiss on the lips. Kari smiled, play nice, she called, mostly teasing towards Naruto. Naruto shook his head. He walked up to the boy. Listen, Tai, Kari and I. Relax, this isn't about Kari, Tai smiled, although I would have appreciated being told. Well, I wanted to tell you, but you're Kari's brother, so, yeah, Naruto rubbed the back of his head. Tai chuckled. Anyway, it's about the others. He grew serious. To be honest, I don't know how Davis will handle being leader. I am also worried about the others, and Kari. Naruto was wondering where the older boy was going with this. He decided to keep silent and await the boy's finish. I would like you to try and keep an eye on them, just to keep them safe. Tai, I appreciate that you're concerned about them, but I don't know what all I could do. Naruto shrugged. But I will protect Kari and free the Digimon. Again, he added in his head. He could hear a chuckle from Kurama. Well, if you could. Well, see ya round, and don't keep Kari out too late. Tai walked off with a chuckle. Naruto shook his head, a light chuckle in his throat. XXX, a lot has happened since the arrival of the three new Digidestined. For one, they each now had their own Digimon partner. Naruto still hasn't been to the digital world. His stupid school activities kept him from doing so, but today he was able to get out of a meeting early, and so he headed straight for the computer lab. He saw that no one was there. He assumed that they were still in the digital world. He approached the computer that he was told about. He studied the device. He saw that the computer had a portal hooked up to it, and that it was open. He held up his Digivice to the screen, and was shocked at how it felt to be downloaded. Whoa, talk about surfing the net, he stated, and then he felt some weight on his back and sides. When he observed the weight in question, a smile broke upon his face. Oh, these are a sight for sore eyes. Upon Naruto's back was his quiver. Inside amongst all the arrows was his folded bow. Behind it and close to his back were twin golden batons. And on the front of his quiver was the hilt to the Raijin no Ken. He had twin tan pouches, and he could feel that the pouches were full. His smile grew when he touched the handles of his twin trench knives. He drew the bow along with an arrow. He strung it and pulled it back. The string was strung as tight as before, tighter than his custom-made bow for the archery club. He let the arrow fly and watched as it embedded itself deep within a tree. Perfect. Naruto? The blonde recognized that voice. He hasn't heard it in years. He turned to see off in the distance, his old friend and partner. Wormmon. Naruto called. He put his bow away and ran towards the Digimon. Naruto. Wormmon shouted as he ran, crawled towards the blonde. The Digimon leapt into the boy's arms and the two shared a tight hug. "I've missed you." "I missed you too, buddy," Naruto stated. He sighed as they ended the hug. "A lot has happened." Wormmon nodded. "Indeed, the digital world is in danger once again." The Digimon sighed. "Well then it's a good thing that we are here, right pal?" Wormmon nodded. "You've grown, Naruto," Wormmon commented on the boy's size. "Wait, you have to come see this. I found it the other day." Wormmon began to lead the way towards a cave entrance. Just as Naruto was about to enter the cave, he had gotten a text message on his phone. He flipped open his phone as he and Wormmon entered the cave. "A message from Kari," Naruto said aloud. Wormmon glanced behind him. "How is she? Gatomon talks about her a lot." "She's good, in fact we are dating now." Naruto was a bit embarrassed to admit that. "Oh, that's cool. One question. What is dating?" However, Naruto ignored the question and instead looked to the message. "She wants to know if I am out of the meeting." Naruto began to type on the QWERTY keyboard of his phone. "I am telling her that I am in the digital world now." He hit send, then placed the phone in his jacket pocket. "Here we are, take a look." Wormmon pointed to a rock with some kind of object on top. Naruto couldn't make out what it was, so he went closer. His eyes widened when he saw that the object was in fact egg-shaped. It had a flat bottom and appeared to be a dark forest green in color. There were clear wing-like things that appeared to wrap around the egg, showing only a bit of the forest green color. On top was what looked like a tuft of red-orange hair with twin dark forest green antennae coming out of the top. On the back was twin black stick-like objects. The most surprising thing about the egg was the symbol on the front, that same spiraling leaf that he has always loved. Is that the Digi-Egg of Determination? I guess so. I thought it was pretty cool, so I stayed by the cave entrance just to be sure it was protected. I knew you would return, so I kept it safe for you, Wormmon stated. If it is even for me, Naruto stated. Before Wormmon could ask what he meant, Naruto's phone went off again. "Now Kari is calling me." He answered the phone. "Hello. Naruto-kun, we need your help. The Digimon Emperor has us surrounded and our Digimon are almost worn out." She sounded frantic. "Where are you?" Naruto waited while he listened to her explain their location. "Just hang on. I'll be there soon." With a quick goodbye, and an "I love you" that shocked the blonde, he wrote it off as her just afraid that they wouldn't see each other again, which he would not make a reality if he had anything to say about it. Okay. Time for doubt is out. Naruto made to grab the egg when a bright light shined from his waist. "My Digivice." Naruto held the object up and watched as it morphed into an oval-like object with a black antennae at the side and neon orange hand grips on either side. One large round button in the middle, two little arrow-like buttons underneath. Cool. "Let's go, Wormmon." Naruto placed the egg inside his other jacket pocket. He grabbed the Digimon, and after a hopeful check, he found that he now had the plates on his shoes. He zipped out of the cave and ran as fast as he could to the battlefield. He got there within a few minutes after the call with Kari had ended. He kept her last words to him in the back of his mind. They could discuss them later. He came upon a scene that shocked him. Black dinosaur-like Digimon surrounded the other 5 Digidestine. Near them on a flying dragon-like creature was a figure dressed in an all-black outfit that looked like a school uniform, with a black cape that had a blue inside lining, black gloves and combat-like boots. The thing most noticeable is the helmet over his head that hid his face. The helmet covered all of his head with only a clear mirror-like visor in the front. It showed only the reflection of the battle. By his side was a smaller Digimon, black in color with an imp-like face. A red do-rag with an evil-looking smiley face upon the garment. Last thing to note are the red gloves, the only other type of clothing he had on. Naruto knew it to be Impmon. The Digimon had his arms folded, an evil smirk were his only features. Without words he and Wormmon leapt into battle. Naruto took out his twin batons and started to make his way through the crowd of dinosaurs. Wormmon was gumming up their feet with his thread-like goo that he blew out of his mouth. Naruto and his partner made his way to the other kids. "Is everyone alright?" "Naruto?" Davis asked in disbelief at the blonde being there. "How did you get here so fast?" "Naruto is faster than normal when he is in the digital world," TK stated. "Naruto-kun, you made it." Kari hugged the boy, who returned it. "There is no time for that," Davis said with red in his face. "We're surrounded." "I got this." Naruto pulled his bow out along with a regular arrow. "Wait, they're just being controlled by the rings around their necks," Kari said, fearing the boy might kill the Digimon. "Gotcha," Naruto fired the arrow at a dark Tyrannomon. They thought it was going to hit it in the throat, but it was actually aimed to the right a bit where it struck the ring, causing it to collapse. One down, and only like 30 to go. Naruto stated, looking around. He could easily take them all out, but they were innocent Digimon. Plus he still remembers the promise he made to Kari, to never hurt, kill, or allow an innocent Digimon to die. He broke it once, but not again. I can't hit them all without hurting them. Just forget about that, we gotta get out of here, Davis shouted. No. Naruto shouted. My first priority always was and always will be the safety of all Digimon. Naruto turned to face the crowd of dinosaur Digimon. Doubt started to cloud his mind, that is until he felt something at his legs. Looking down he saw it was Wormmon. Use it, the Digimon stated simply. At first Naruto didn't know what the Digimon was talking about, but then he remembered the egg he had found. Right. He reached into his pocket, and to the shock of the others, pulled out the Digi-Egg of Determination. Let's do this, Wormmon. Digi-Armor energize. He shouted with a determined look on his features while holding up the egg. Wormmon Armor Digivolve 2. Wormmon and the egg came together to show a silhouette of a bipedal creature wrapped in green leaves. Behind the figure Wormmon appeared, then Stingmon, followed by Jewel Beamon. Then finally Grandis Kawagamon. The leaves then blew away as a bipedal insect creature that resembled Stingmon only without the black armor he is known for wearing. His claws seemed like fingers almost. Over his chest was a dark green flak jacket. He was wearing navy blue capri-like pants. On his head, keeping the spiky red-orange hair in check and keeping his antennae back, a black headband with a metal plate covering where his forehead would be. Engraved on the plate was the symbol for determination. Completing the look were twin swords that looked like katanas strapped to his back in an X formation. Ketimon Ninja of Determination. Whoa, who is that? TK asked, shocked. That's Ketimon, Patamon stated, form his partner's arms. They say that he has trained his whole life in the ancient ways of the shinobi, and is a master of the art. Watch out though, his twin strike is deadly accurate and he'll poison you with either his acid claw or acid kick. Wow, Naruto breathed out. Is this the Sovereign's doing? Naruto asked. The Digimon's attire seemed to resemble what most shinobi of the Jonin rank wore in his old world. Let's do this, Ketimon. Naruto drew his twin trench knives. And to the shock of the three new Digidestined and their Digimon, jumped into battle with his partner. The two made a great pair, that was for sure. While Naruto stepped on and leapt from one Digimon to the next, distracting them, Ketimon used his twin swords to slice through the dark rings without any harm to the Digimon, while Naruto used his trench knives to also slice through the dark rings easily. We could use a little help here, just saying, Naruto stated when he had a second to speak. Right. Let's go, Vmon Davis stated as the others soon joined him. Soon there were now 6 armor-level Digimon plus 1 human fighting the brainwashed Digimon. Naruto took out the last ring, then stopped to admire their work. The ground was littered with broken dark rings, and the dark Tyrannomon were leaving as well. Naruto looked to see the figure on the dragon still there. He put his trench knives away and took out his bow and arrow. Stringing one up, he fired it at the figure. To his shock, the figure caught the arrow before it struck his face. Whoever this guy was, he was good. Impressive work, Digidestined, the figure stated as he came closer on his flying Digimon. The voice sounded to be deeper than it should be, most likely using a voice changer inside his helmet. Very impressive. The reflection of Naruto's arrow was shown in his visor. He threw the arrow back at Naruto, who caught it with ease. He had a hard look on his features. Who are you? Naruto asked. I am the Digimon Emperor, the deep voice came again. No, who are you? Naruto put emphasis on who. Wouldn't you like to know? The figure laughed as he flew away. Till next time, Digidestined, he shouted as he flew off. Naruto looked at his arrow. Who is that guy? How could he easily catch my arrow like that? Not even the Dark Masters could do that. Naruto put the arrow away. I have to figure this out, plus try to get these Digimon he has under his control freed, but how? Naruto-kun. Kari shouted as she hugged the boy once again. Thank you for coming. Naruto nodded. Anytime, Kari-chan. I'll always be there to help you. She knew he meant it, which made her hug him even more. Man. Why does Naruto get the hug? I helped too, Davis stated, annoyed. Actually, Vmon did the work for you, while Naruto-senpai actually fought the Digimon, Yole stated with stars in her eyes. Naruto-senpai is so cool. Naruto-sama, thank you for your help. Cody bowed to his senior. Considering that Naruto was the president of the Kendo Club, which Cody was the member of. You're welcome. Naruto started to rub the back of his head, while his other arm was wrapped around Kari's waist, holding her close to him. Kari didn't seem to mind. In fact, she had her own arm around the blonde, making them even closer. They walked away, leading the group back to the screen, to the real world. That's the stupidest idea I've ever heard of. Naruto made his thoughts heard after Davis gave his plan on attacking the Digimon Emperor head-on. Did you stop to think about the Digimon under his control? We just free them, then problem solved, Davis stated as if it was obvious. What's going to stop him from using them as shields, huh? Or as distractions for him to get away? What then? Oh, fearless leader. Naruto's latter statement was dripping with sarcasm. Look, I never asked for your help, Namikaze, nor do I need it. Davis got right in Naruto's face. The others could do nothing but watch as the two went at it. The Digimon were also watching, but seeming to be more entertained with it. It seemed like they were watching a tennis match, eyes on the ball as their heads went back and forth, looking from one boy to the other. Oh, well, you sure as hell needed it back there, or did you forget who saved your ass? Naruto returned Davis' glare, with an equally heated one. I say we just take down the Emperor right now while we have him outnumbered, Davis reinstated his plan. And I say we find a way to first get rid of the Emperor's control on the Digimon, and then take him out, Naruto retaliated with his response. If we take down the Emperor, then we save the Digimon, problem solved, Davis acted as if it was the most obvious thing. Do you not hear how idiotic and childish that sounds? Naruto threw his hands up in the air. This is a war, and until you free the war prisoners you'll have nothing but casualties. Naruto's statement spoke of wisdom beyond his years. This isn't a war, it's a fight, and you're wanting to run away. Well, I am not going to. I never run from a fight. Davis stood proudly, thinking he must have looked cool. Besides, what do you know about war? Naruto paused. Flashbacks, war flashbacks, of his comrades dying, of fighting monstrous beasts and godlike men. He glared at the boy. Fine, you want to take this path, then take it, but leave me out of it. I am going to do things my way, with or without you all. He turned to walk away. Let's go, Wormmon. Naruto's old partner soon followed him out. He crawled up the blonde's leg to reside on his shoulder. Naruto-kun. Kari called after her boyfriend, but he didn't answer. Davis, look what you did. We needed him to help us. We don't need him, not when you got me, Davis said with a cocky attitude. I think we should just let Naruto go and do his own thing. TK finally spoke up. If we really need his help, I am sure he would be there for us if we call him. The others, aside to Davis, agreed. XXX Naruto was currently laying on his bed inside his room. Looking around, his thoughts started to wander. Before he could take any trips down memory lane, Wormmon spoke up. What's wrong, Naruto? The blonde sighed. I don't know, it's just, we need to free those Digimon, but in a way Davis is right. The Emperor has to be stopped. If we do save the Digimon, then what about him? I have a suggestion, Wormmon stated, staring at his partner. What's that, buddy? Naruto gave the worm his full attention. Why don't we let the others try and fight the Emperor? They may save a few Digimon in doing so, while we do what we do best, spy. Wormmon said the last word with a lot of dramatic feeling. So, let me get this straight. You think we should try to spy on the Emperor while the others keep him busy? Wormmon nodded. Naruto thought about it for a while. That's not a bad idea. We can try to find out more about him, figure out how the dark rings work, and find a way to shut them all down. Wormmon nodded. Sounds like a great plan. Let's get started right away. But how? The only portal into the digital world is at the school, Wormmon pointed out. Naruto thought for a while on a plan. He could easily sneak inside the school with no problem. The only thing is what to tell his parents. I got it. The blonde grabbed his phone. This was his new phone that he had gotten earlier when he got home. It was an early birthday present. He thought it was convenient that his birthday was still October 10th. It was one of the newest smartphones, one that he has been wanting for a while. After musing about his new phone, he sent a text out to TK. Soon his phone rang. Sup? Naruto answered. What was with that text? What kind of favor do you need? TK asked. I need you to cover for me if my parents call you. Can you do that? Naruto asked as he started to get ready. Yeah, but why do you need me to do that? I'll explain later, but for now, can you do that for me? Naruto grabbed his bag to stuff some supplies into it. All right. You can count on me, whatever it is. Good luck, man, TK stated. Thanks, man. I owe you one. Naruto answered back as he hung up his cell phone. Now the cover is well covered. Let's go, Wormmon. Meet me outside, okay? The Digimon nodded as he headed to the window. Naruto left his room. His parents were in the living room watching a movie on the television. I am going over to TK's for a study session. Isn't it a little late? Kushina asked. Not really, if I hurry we'll have time to study before going to bed. I'll see you after school tomorrow. Naruto gave a wave goodbye to his parents. He slipped on his shoes and headed out the door. When he made it to the outside of the building, he called for Wormmon. The worm Digimon came out of the grass. Let's get to the school. XXX, it's a school. There wasn't that much security, none actually. Well, who would actually break into a school anyway? So needless to say, Naruto had no trouble breaking into the school. A little lock picking and rewiring of the security system. He just set it to reset in 2 minutes, just enough time for him and Wormmon to get to the computer lab. Once they're just turning on the computer, again he set it to shut down after a couple of minutes. He didn't want to leave any kind of footprints, sort to speak, behind. So once in the digital world he will be there until someone turned on the computer in the morning. Hopefully they will. Once in the digital world, Naruto once again admired the weaponry that he had on his person. He did wonder though how it was possible and how his quiver was fully stocked. He shrugged, chalking it up to the digital world just being the digital world. He immediately led the way to the nearest control spire. There was a lot of them now, so one was not hard to find. He stayed in the shadows waiting to see if there was any kind of patrol, sentries or guards. Other than a couple of Digimon with rings around their person, nothing. Let's take care of them first, Wormmon. His partner nodded. He leapt out and sprayed them with his sticky string, causing them to be slow in their movements. This allowed Naruto to throw a couple kunai to strike the dark rings, causing them to go up in data. You're free, now flee while you can. They nodded. With a quick thank you, the two were off. Naruto walked up to the control spire. He placed a hand on it and removed it quickly. Damn, that's hot. This thing must put out some kind of power. He pondered that bit of information for a moment. Suddenly his phone went off, signaling that he had gotten a text. He expected it to be from TK, but when he checked it, the ID said unknown. He read the message aloud for Wormmon to hear as well. If you want information on the spires, dark rings, Digimon Emperor, or even why your quiver is full whenever you come to the digital world, then come to the spot indicated on your Digivice. His Digivice then beeped. When he pulled it out, he saw a red dot beeping. Okay, that's weird. Well, I am not going to say it isn't suspicious, but what choice do we have? With that, he and Wormmon walked off toward where his Digivice took them. When he got to the coordinates, he came across a cliff. He looked over to see an endless abyss. No bottom could be seen whatsoever. Is this right? He looked at his Digivice and indeed it was correct. His phone went off again. Another text. Jump. He looked at his phone and at the abyss. Then at his phone again. What? He looked at his partner, then at the cliff. He shook his head. No, I don't think so. Let's go, Wormmon. When he turned to leave, that's when the ground he was standing on catapulted him and his partner into the abyss. Minutes went by, still no bottom. Naruto looked at his partner. What the hell is going on? I don't know. How long have we been falling? The Digimon asked. I have no idea. He yelled. More time went by. By now Naruto was so bored that he was on his phone playing one of his app games on his new phone that was already on there. Wormmon watched as he saw Naruto move a wingless bird with his finger in a slingshot to fire said bird at green legless pigs that were hiding behind wood and glass. Suddenly lights shot on. Naruto and Wormmon looked around, seeing some kind of base. He looked up to see the top of the cliff as being only like a 10 or 20 foot drop. He looked below him to see a giant fan that was keeping him up. Hey kid, long time no see. Naruto looked toward the voice to see a machine Digimon. He recognized him right away. Datamon. He shouted happily. The Digimon flipped a lever that turned off the giant fan. Naruto flipped and landed on his feet onto the grate that covered the giant fan. Still got the ninja skills, I see. Datamon smirked. Naruto ran to the Digimon and wrapped his arms around him. I am so sorry I couldn't protect you. Bah. Water under the bridge. Let's get on to the more important matters, shall we? Datamon asked as he waved off Naruto's apology. Yeah, wait. So are you the reason my quiver is full? Naruto questioned, remembering the text. Guilty. He chuckled as he led Naruto and Wormmon up the stairs to his new lab. How? Naruto asked. First let me show you my new lab. He pressed a few buttons. When the metal door before them opened, Naruto's jaw dropped. The lab was amazing. Very high-tech. even having machines and gadgets that he has only seen in a recent superhero movie about a billionaire with a metal suit. That's the only thing that came close to this lab. Datamon walked over to a giant supercomputer with a huge screen. Naruto and his partner followed. He pressed a few buttons, then suddenly above the table in the middle of the room was a holographic model of the digital world. Then multiple black dots appeared. This is the digital world. The black dots are the control spires. He pressed a few more buttons. Then picked up a pad-like device that reminded Naruto of his tablet back home. First off, read that. It's my research on these dark rings and spires. There was a lot of information. Naruto felt a little overwhelmed. Don't worry, I sent you an email before he could ask how he got that information. Datamon answered the unasked question. If you don't want that stuff known, then don't put it up on that MyBook or whatever it's called. He poked an area on the globe. This caused it to zoom in and bring up a flat version of the area. Let's get started. Look at this area here. He pointed at the area littered with black dots. See how in the middle here? He pointed at the area. It's small but it's blank. Now look at this next area. He brought up another area of the digital world. See here? He made a circle motion in the middle of the area. It's the same with this area. He brought it back to the globe. And then 4 red dots appeared in random places on the globe in a sea of black dots. What are those places? Naruto asked. It's in my report. To this Naruto gave the Digimon a deadpan look. The Digimon chuckled. Only one thing I can think of, it's the Emperor's bases. Where they are exactly is hard to say. That part one couldn't find out. He brought up a digital compass. You can tell that by this that the 4 bases are located in the 4 sectors of the digital world, north, south, east, and west. The Emperor was a busy little worker bee, in the 5 years that he has been here. Wait, he's been here for 5 years? Datamon nodded. Are you sure? Yeah. I came back about a month or so after you guys saved the digital world. I didn't notice anything until 6 months after, while I was rebuilding my lab. He managed to conceal them, but my sensors that sense dark energy, learn from your mistakes. Naruto knew he was referencing how the Dark Masters managed to escape his sensors and get the drop on him and the others. Anyway, they started to pop up everywhere. No one noticed them until about a month ago, but by then everyone was being taken in by the dark rings. I would have been amongst them had it not been for my spy drones. Spy drones? Naruto asked. Suddenly a round floating ball appeared out of nowhere. Whoa, what the hell? That's one of my spy drones. They don't attack or anything. Just observe. I've got them all over the digital world, all cloaked. The only part one haven't been able to get them into is near the Emperor's possible bases. He must have some kind of EMP or something. Cause they just die if I get within 100 meters of the place. Not enough to see anything though. He grabbed the one that was floating and showed the back to Naruto. Luckily I planned for this outcome and made a self-destruct procedure, something that I can detonate from here. Datamon, you are awesome. So what's your take anyway on these spires and dark rings? Is there a link? Naruto asked. Again, it's in my report. Another disapproving look from Naruto. Okay, I'll stop saying that. Yes, I do think they are connected. The spire acts like an antenna. It emits the energy needed to power the rings. That's why it was hot when you touched it. Naruto was about to ask how he knew. But Datamon answered him. Spy drone. Anyway, the spires on the other hand don't sustain energy, which means that in order for them to run they need to have an energy source. He brought up what looked like a digital model, showing green arrows pointing to each black dot. The arrows were originating from the single red dot. By this model I theorize that the bases are emitting the energy that the spires need to emit the same energy to power the dark rings. So it's all linked in a way. You destroy the ring, you save the wearer. Destroy the spire, you save all the Digimon within a 5-mile radius. And if you destroy a base, you save all the Digimon in that area. It sounds so simple, but I bet it's not, Naruto stated, looking at the digital play of what Datamon said. You're right, and since I can't get close to the base with my spy drones, I can't tell what the place is like. If there are any guards, or even if it is above or below ground. Hell, I don't even know how big it is. He went back to his computer, cancelled the digital globe. I can't go in myself, it's too risky, but when I notice you arrive, well, I rejoiced. Not only am I happy to see you again, but you can help me see what these bases look like and their exact location. He pulled out a box and opened it, producing a flash drive. Okay. This flash drive has a way of not only hacking any computer but downloading all of its files onto it. Don't worry, this thing can hold at least 3 terabytes worth of information. Naruto looked at him for a moment. Yes, that's a lot. All you have to do is break into one of these bases, find a computer, preferably the main computer, pop this baby in, give it a few minutes, and then you're out of there. Okay, let's say I get in, I find this computer, and I even managed to get all the files. How the hell do you expect me to get out of there? Naruto asked. I was hoping you'd ask that. The same way you will be getting near the base. Lights flicked on to show a large pad with multiple circles on the bottom. My matter transporter. Capable of sending atoms across space in a matter of seconds. Naruto's jaw hung open at this. Datamon. How did you do this? Naruto asked. Dude. I've been in isolation for 4.5 years. I built a lab full of tech that you humans have only seen in movies. I am actually surprised you're shocked. Datamon shook his head. Anyway, here, this is how you will be getting out of there. He threw Naruto a watch. It looked like a watch but was only a band with a lone button on the top. That's a mini matter transporter. It will transfer you and all you are touching back here. It's only programmed to send atoms to one location, this location, so no matter where you are, when you hit that button you come back here. Naruto placed it on his wrist. He looked it over, seeing the button to which he could press. He assumed that it was the button that would whisk away his atoms and bring him and Wormmon, if the Digimon was touching him, back here. Well, let's get started. When Datamon said that, that's when Naruto noticed the time. Aw man. I gotta be at school in 4 hours. Datamon, I need a little sleep. Is there any way this can wait? Naruto asked. Well, it can, but the longer you wait the longer the digital world suffers. Sorry, Naruto thought about that. He had to go to school. He didn't want his parents knowing about his little secret, at least not yet, plus he had responsibilities in the real world. He had 2 meetings to attend after school. He was going to go out on a date with Kari, after, but that's where he has to choose. A date with Kari, or a chance to be one step closer to saving the digital world. Let's do it tonight. I have a few things to do after school, so I'll come to the digital world after. Naruto, don't you have a date with Kari? Wormmon was there when Kari texted him asking him to accompany her to a new movie she's wanted to see that she didn't want to see alone. Wormmon, I have to make a choice whether to save the digital world, or go on a date. This is more important. I am sure she'll understand. Naruto felt a ping of dread in his stomach. This is something that he didn't want to do but had to. If he could get this done in time, he may be able to get to the movies in time. Well, why don't you get some sleep then? Datamon pressed a button opening another door to a room with a single bed inside. Sleep well, my friend. Thanks, Datamon. You really do have everything here. Naruto set his alarm on his phone. He took off his gear and got in bed, and before he lay down he asked something that he has been wondering for a while. Hey Datamon. The Digimon gave him his attention. How is it that I got all my gear back and get a refill of arrows, kunai, and my other gadgets? It's a secret. The Digimon grinned and closed the door just before the shoe could hit him. Naruto chuckled as he lay down to get some sleep. The next day at school, Naruto was still tired from the night before. Even though he got 4 to 5 hours of sleep, he still yawned. He was the first one in the classroom, one of the first ones in the school for that matter. Naruto didn't expect that, but he still went to his classroom. When he sat in his chair his head nodded as he slowly drifted back to sleep. Naruto-kun? The blonde heard a familiar voice, but he wasn't paying attention to it. Naruto-kun? Naruto's bleary eyes opened and all he saw was pink. His eyes drooped a little. Sakura-chan? He asked, but he rubbed his eyes only to see the angry look of his girlfriend Kari. Kari-chan, what's going? Why do you look so mad? Who is Sakura? She asked. Naruto thought back. First he thought if he said Sakura's name, then he thought of if he told Kari about her. Maybe he did, but probably not his feelings that he had for her. The feelings that he never got to explore due to him dying, but not dying and instead coming here. He decided that this should just be nipped in the bud, and tell her, but he couldn't. For some reason he couldn't say what he wanted. No one, just someone from, you know where. Remember I told you she was my teammate? She had pink hair, and all I saw was pink, plus I am pretty tired, he answered her. Maybe he should have told her the fact that Sakura was more than just a friend to him. At the same time, however, he didn't want her to worry about those feelings. She was important now, so that's what matters, right? Besides, Sakura was gone, and not coming back. She nodded. She seemed to accept that answer. He wondered though why he didn't tell her. He's sure Kurama might have a word or two to say about it, but the fox was silent. He shook his head to get rid of those thoughts. Soon TK came into the room and sat next to his blonde friend. Hey, so what was up with that request last night? TK asked. Kari perked at this. Oh yeah, that. Naruto paused. He wondered if he should tell them about what he learned from Datamon. TK doesn't know him but knows of him, so he might understand that part, but how will they take to his mission tonight? He wondered if he should tell them. They probably will want in. Kari would force her way in, like she would always do when it came to dangerous stuff. He wanted her to stay out of harm's way as much as possible. If she goes with him to infiltrate a base, she will either get hurt, or not be able to keep up with him, perhaps both. He shook his head to clear it. He decided to tell a white lie. I just went to the digital world last night, to try and find out what I could about those spires. Well, what did you learn? TK asked. He paused longer than he should, trying to think of something. He should be good at lying, right? Deception was a trait of a good ninja. Nothing much, just that they give off energy, probably to power the rings, but that's all I got. He shrugged, happy he came up with a reasonable excuse. I am glad you found that out, Naruto-kun. We may be able to use that. We're going back today after school and I think Matt is coming with us. Kari was happy for the blonde. So you're going back again today? Wish I could come, but with the festival coming up my hands are tied after school. But I plan to go tonight after the meeting, Naruto answered. But we were supposed to go see that new movie. I've been wanting to see it for a while and wanted us both to experience it, Kari disappointedly said. I am sorry, there are more important things to do, is what he thought. He wanted to spend time with her, but the movie she wanted to see was kind of sappy, for his taste, but he didn't say that he couldn't. I am sorry, Kari-chan. It's okay. She hung her head. Naruto leaned next to his friend to whisper in his ear. Can you do me another favor? Before TK could ask what it was, Naruto jumped ahead of him. Kari, why don't you see it with TK? The two of you haven't hung out in a while. What? TK asked, but Naruto elbowed him in the side, and gave him a help me out here look. I mean, sounds fun. He grinned awkwardly as he laughed just as awkwardly. Are you sure you wouldn't mind? She asked her boyfriend. Nah, it's fine. You two are friends and should hang out. He knew how much she wanted to see the movie. This way she could see it. He got out of seeing it, and he gets to go to the digital world without them knowing exactly why. Okay. She hesitated at first but agreed. Class, settle down, settle down. A first is happening this year. 2 new students within the same month. This got everyone's attention. Naruto was curious as to whom it could be, but at the same time he was pondering his problems. Class, please help me welcome Sakura Haruno. Naruto's head shot up. This didn't go unnoticed by his girlfriend, who gave him a curious look. Naruto's jaw dropped when he saw clad in a red baby tee that showed her figure. A green mini skirt and black leggings. She had a red band in her unique pink hair that went down to her mid-back. 2 bangs on either side of her head framed her face. Even her emerald green eyes were the same, and on her feet were white yellowish sandals with a pink flower on the strap. Hello everyone, she stated. Her voice was mirror image. Everything about her was the same as the Sakura in his old world. Everything about her was the same, from her voice to her hair. Even the red shirt was homage to the girl. Kari stared at her boyfriend, then looked to the girl. She thought about what he had told her, and wondered if it was the truth or not. She noticed that all the boys were checking out the girl, but she didn't think her own boyfriend would be. She didn't know who this Sakura was, but for the first time Kari was envious of someone. Now, unlike Mr. Takaru, who had a chance for the orientation, I expect the class representative to show her around. The teacher looked to Naruto. Mr. Namikaze, would you mind doing so? This is all new to her and she may need to know where things are before the day continues on. The two of you are excused. Naruto stared at him for a second, then looked to the girl, then to his girlfriend, who was giving him a glare. He never really seen her glare at him before. Her brother, yeah. The TV, sure. But him? He's never been on the receiving end. Is there a problem, Mr. Namikaze? No sensei, none. Naruto stood up. As class representative, I welcome you to the school. I hope you enjoy your time here. Thank you, Naruto-san, Sakura said with a smile. XXX. Naruto and Sakura were walking through the quiet halls. He has yet to show her anything. His thoughts were too focused on what she was doing here. Were the others here too? Did Tsunade or Kakashi send her here? How did she de-age? What was going on? Naruto-san, aren't you going to what's the deal, huh? Did Granny send you? Was it Kakashi-sensei? How did you get here? How were you de-aged? Why are you here? What do you want from me? Naruto let out all his questions. He didn't mean to, it sort of just happened. Sakura had a genuine look of shock. She had no idea what the blonde was talking about. For a second she thought he was a mental case, but then remembered that he was class rep. If he was, then what kind of school would make a crazy person class rep? What? Don't play innocent. I am actually having a nice time here. I have my mom, my dad. You should know how important that is to me. I am leaving all that behind, so just tell them no, Naruto angrily stated. Sakura, she was never one to be embarrassed or accused of anything, especially something she didn't do. Now see here, I don't know who you think you are, or who you have me confused with, but I honestly have no idea what you were talking about when I moved here from Osaka. Wait, did you say Osaka? Naruto asked. Yeah, what, want to accuse me of making that up too? She asked. Naruto thought for a moment, a memory coming to his mind. Probably Kurama jumping in to help out. Naruto does recall Kurama finding new memories every day. But it was one from when he was 7 going on 8. It was the summer before he and his parents had moved here. It had been from Osaka. He remembered his mom, and her friend from medical school. She had a daughter that was around his age at the time. If the memory is correct, then the image in his mind's eye helps the girl's case. It's of him, practicing soccer. He had just finished a warm-up when a girl his age with pink hair handed him a flower. She blushed and immediately went to hide behind her mom, who was talking to his mom. Sakura-chan. This caused the pink-hair girl to freeze. She too was hit with a similar memory, but it was of the one where they were parting ways. They made a promise to not forget each other, but in the years that went by that promise couldn't be kept. They had both forgotten. Naruto-kun? She asked, using the suffix that she did when they were kids. He nodded and she wrapped her arms around him. Naruto-kun, it's been so long. She stepped back and looked him up and down. You've really grown, a lot. You did too. Naruto looked her up and down. When she caught him looking at her chest, he turned away with a blush. Sorry about before. I've been having these crazy dreams the past few nights, and I guess you were in them. Well, I think that isn't uncommon. There have been cases of people mixing dreams with memories and memories with dreams. For some it's hard to distinguish which is real and which is not, she stated, causing the blonde's jaw to drop. Yeah. Well, with a mom who's a doctor, and a sister who is in an internship as one, you tend to pick up a few things, she chuckled sheepishly. You have changed, beautiful and smart. Naruto blushed when he realized that he was thinking out loud. I mean, let's get on with the tour. He was laughing awkwardly as well. This caused the girl to laugh too. They shared in it. Naruto took her to show her around the school. When the bell rung, she knew where to go. With a goodbye and a hug, they went their separate ways. Naruto, who was feeling pretty good, couldn't help thinking, so Sakura-chan is here? Naruto asked. He thought she was sent here by Tsunade or Kakashi to bring him back, but that was squashed when she revealed that she had no idea what he was talking about. Plus Osaka, him being from there, sparked a memory. So what did that mean? It means that she is the Sakura of this world, Kurama said in his head. Kurama? Naruto said out loud, but other students gave him funny looks. He went to the bathroom to escape their gaze and to get some privacy. Sitting in a stall, he decided that he should think what he wanted to ask. What do you mean? Naruto asked in his head with his eyes closed. I mean what I said. She is the Sakura of this world. You should know, seeing as how I know what you do. Kurama had a point. Whatever the fox knew about this world Naruto knew, so if he had it figured out then he should be able to. He had nothing. Oh, for the love of string theory, he shouted, interrupting himself. He accidentally said, but shut up afterwards. He listened to know if there was anyone around. No one made a sound. Nice save. The fox deadpanned. String theory, the theory of separate but similar dimensions and universes? Oh yeah, I get it now. Sakura is this world's Sakura, because what some scientist said is true, that it is possible of there being a copy of you, but different, in other dimensions. But hang on, if that's true, then could the others be here? Naruto thought. Hard to say, could be, could not be, she could be the only one, scientist could be only half right, Kurama stated. Then, is there a version of me in this universe? Naruto thought. I think you're him, maybe when the sovereigns brought you to this world. They knew that there was a version of you here, but you were younger. Then the old version of you, maybe, in order for you to exist, they replaced the version here with you, gave you that Naruto's memories and knowledge. Maybe they did it on purpose, and maybe they did it by accident. Some do think that if two of the same beings are in the same space, that only one can exist. If that is true, then you took the place of the other you, and gained his memories. Kurama summed up a very, very deep thought. Yeah, maybe, or maybe someone is actually controlling all this. Just thought of the idea and decided to put it in rather than going back to change it because they were too lazy, Naruto thought with a deadpanned look. You're right. I am overthinking things. It's like saying the old world is just some popular TV show and manga created by some trolling Japanese guy, and that we're just characters in some story that is based off that show. That is being written by someone who has way too much time on their hands. I need some sleep. Night, with their thoughts concluded and information that should not be discussed, because it was just too complicated. Naruto decided to leave the stall and go about his day. XXX Naruto had to admit, he was starting to like this whole being downloaded thing. When he got to the digital world that night, he relished the scenery around him. The digital world always looked good at night. Naruto looked to his partner. You ready to do this, buddy? Wormmon nodded. He grabbed his partner, and placed him on his shoulders. He then pressed the button on his wrist. They were covered in white, and Naruto didn't even feel his atoms being broken apart. When he rematerialized, he was in the lab of his Digimon friend. So, are you ready to do this, Naruto? Datamon asked, turning to him. Huh? Naruto asked. He was so focused and ready before, but for some reason he lost his consciousness. What's wrong, boy? Is your head not in this? Datamon asked with concern etched on his face. No, it's just that something weird happened today. A ghost of sorts from the past, and I am just conflicted, I guess, Naruto answered. But I need this. Something like this will help clear my head. Okay. Datamon gave him a look over before he grabbed some things. Here, slip these onto your hands. He threw Naruto what appeared to be clear plastic gloves, the kind you would wear if you were cleaning a toilet. What are these? He held up the items. Put them on, then I'll tell you, Datamon instructed. Complying with the order, Naruto placed the gloves on his hands. When he did, they glowed white. Then the gloves started to constrict around his hands, tightening, then loosening, then tightening again. Ow. Damn, what the hell? Naruto cursed. Then the gloves stopped, and upon inspecting his hand he noticed that the gloves were gone. What happened to them? Naruto asked aloud, not really directed to Datamon. Those gloves operate like your plates on your shoes do. You can use them to stick to any surface, upon will. And they will amplify your punches and jabs like the plates increase your speed and kicks, the Techno Digimon explained. Whoa, really? Dude, Naruto couldn't help himself. He went to a wall and placed his fingertips upon it. Then his shoes stuck to the wall as he was climbing up the wall and to the ceiling, to hang upside down. Naruto looked to his partner. Check it out, Wormmon, now we both can climb walls. Wormmon smiled and crawled up the wall to stand beside his partner. Datamon, have I ever told you that you're awesome? Not today, Datamon chuckled. Now get down here. I've got one more thing for you before your mission. Naruto willed the plates on his feet to let go, then flipped in the air to land in a crouch on the ground, and like a good ninja he did so without making a sound. Right after Wormmon landed on his shoulder, as gracefully as he could. Here you go. Placed within the blonde's hands were small perfectly round balls. Doesn't every ninja need smoke bombs? Naruto's eyes lit up. He threw one down in front of him. With a pop, black smoke filled the space. Once it was cleared, the blonde was no longer there. Thanks, Datamon, Naruto said from behind the Digimon. This caused the Digimon to shout in shock. Don't do that, he stated, pounded his chest to help his heart. Sorry, Naruto laughed, couldn't help myself. Well, use them wisely and sparingly. They might come in handy for this mission. Naruto nodded. Okay. Stand over there on the transporter. I am going to send you as close as possible to where the base should be. Naruto nodded at this, and then Datamon threw him a small ball-like device. Put that in your ear. It will let us communicate. Now it won't work right away due to the EMP, so your first job is to shut down the security. I'll be able to send my spy drones in to survey the base and help you find the main computer. Sounds good. Thanks, Datamon, see ya soon. With that, Naruto was enveloped in a white light, his atoms whisked away. In a second, Naruto was at the edge of a tree line. In front of him was a grassy field. He surveyed the area, checking for any signs of an enemy or controlled Digimon. He looked to his partner and lowered his voice, to be safe. I'll instruct you with signs and signals, just like the old days. Wormmon nodded. He knew that the two of them had to be as quiet as possible. Even the slightest of sounds could be dangerous for them. After all, they had no idea what laid ahead of them in the base, which Naruto has yet to see. Okay. So no base in sight, and Datamon did say this was the location of the drone's last transmission before it was shut down. He concluded that this could be where the EMP was. Hopefully his digivice would work. He took a step, and as he feared, his digivice was not responding. Great, if we get in deep, Wormmon can't armor digivolve, so to do that we have to first take out the security system. He dashed forward, his movements sound being lost in the wind. The first chance he got, he remained in the shadows, which happened to be right next to the entrance. As expected, it was guarded by two champion Digimon. Vegiemon, he spied the dark ring around their torso. He took out two kunai from his pouch and threw both at the black rings. They struck, and before you could say their names, the Vegiemon were free. Naruto threw his thumb out to the side, silently telling the Digimon to get out of there. They listened and ran away from their post. Naruto took out his phone. It was off as well, but he only needed the reflection of the black screen. He used it to see around the corner, to find that there was only one hallway that went off to the right. No Digimon of any kind was in it. With that figured out and his phone back in place, Naruto ran down the hall silently. His eyes remained open for any kind of security office or computer of any kind. As he continued on, he heard something from the distance. A sort of hopping sound. He leapt up and stuck to the ceiling, crawling over to a spot that would hide both him and Wormmon. Coming down the hall were two more Vegiemon. They appeared to be heading for the entrance. Shit. If they discover the other two missing, then that means they'll set off the alarm. But I didn't notice any kind of lever of sorts. He then had a thought. What if they have to go to the security room to alert whoever? If that's the case, then I may be in luck. He started to follow them from the ceiling, and keeping to the shadows. I just hope my luck doesn't run out. Why are we headed back to the entrance? And why hasn't Naruto freed those two yet? Does he have a plan? Wormmon pondered from his perch upon Naruto's shoulder. The two did indeed lead Naruto and his partner to the entrance, where they discovered the two guardsmen missing. Crud, we have a security breach. Quick, you head to the security room and see what you can find. I'll search for the intruder, the one on the right instructed the Digimon on the left. The other nodded, then went back the way they came, Naruto following their every move. Only when a fork came up ahead, the one with the task of getting to the security room went off to the left, whereas the other went to the right. Naruto too went left and followed the Vegiemon down the hall to the destination Naruto needed. He followed the Digimon inside the room and waited for him to access the security computer. When he did is when Naruto let his presence known with a kunai that took out the dark ring. Go get out of here, Naruto ordered, to which the Digimon heeded. The blonde went to the terminal to see that it was still accessed. Upon studying it, there was an option for security shut off. Not questioning a gifted horse, so to speak, he clicked on it. Then a sound that a computer would make when shutting down was heard. He pressed his finger to his ear. Datamon, come in. Do you copy? Security is shut down. Copy that. Okay, my spy drones are almost in the base. Get somewhere safe and out of sight before you're spotted. Naruto nodded and leapt up to the ceiling. He found an air vent and decided to use it. After removing the panel, he climbed in and replaced the panel thanks to Wormmon using his sticky string to hold it in place. He crawled through the air shaft waiting for Datamon to give the order. A few minutes went by, and still no word yet from Datamon. He wanted to maintain radio silence until the control room with the master computer was found, but not one to just sit around. Naruto decided to get out of the vents and try to find the room himself. He crawled out of the shaft and dropped to the floor. He immediately found shadows to hide, and as two more controlled Digimon ran by, he breathed out a sigh of relief. So far so good. What does the fox say? Ring ding 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 dingering edding. Gearing ding 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 dingering edding. Gearing ding 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 dingering edding. Naruto suddenly looked to his pocket where his phone started to go off. He looked up to see multiple Digimon turning to look at him. Oh fuck me, he cursed. There's the intruder, get him. Naruto turned and ran, his phone still going off. Hello? Naruto answered while running. He didn't even check the caller ID. Naruto-kun. What's wrong, you sound tense? The voice from the other end came in. Kari-chan? Oh, is the movie over already? He asked, acting as if he didn't have a horde of Digimon on his tail. We went to an early showing. It was good. I would like to talk to you about it. Maybe we could try seeing it tomorrow, Kari suggested. Naruto ran to a dead end. He turned to see the horde of Digimon coming in hot on his tail. Oh, this is not good. Naruto said, not realizing it was into the receiver. What was that? Kari said, irritated. Oh, nothing. Let me put you on hold for a minute. Naruto put the phone on mute. Digi-armor energize. Naruto shouted. In seconds Kedimon was standing before him. Remember, don't hurt them, just destroy the rings. Naruto took the phone off mute. Sorry about that, so what's up? What are you doing? Kari asked. Nothing. Just trying to fight off a horde of brainwashed Vegiemon. Can I call you back? Naruto stated nonchalantly. Do you need help? Me and TK can be there soon, she offered. No, it's fine, I am good. With Kedimon here I should be fine. He looked up to see that Kedimon had released the last Digimon from their control rings. Hey, so I'll call you back. I gotta go now. See ya tomorrow at school. Okay. Well, I'll talk to you later then. Bye. Naruto didn't notice the sound of pain in her voice, but he was too busy trying to figure out an escape plan. Naruto, more are coming, Kedimon stated. Looks like it's time for a ninja vanish. He took out one of the smoke bombs and threw it in front of him and his partner. When the smoke cleared, the incoming Digimon had no target. They looked around, but none noticed the air vents as a sound of someone crawling in them could barely be heard. Note to self, on missions put phone on silent. He then started to hum the song that was his ringtone. Damn it, why did I pick that song as my ringtone? I believe your reasoning was that it was ironic, right? Kurama added with a chuckle. Oh, who asked you? Naruto thought, annoyed. Hey kid, I found the room. Datamon's voice came from the earpiece. Where is it? Naruto asked, putting a figure to his ear. Take the next left. Naruto did so. Okay, now go along that ventway for a few more meters. How will I know when to stop? Naruto asked. I'll let you know. Naruto obeyed and crawled down the vent for the specified amount of distance. Geez, now I know what a TV diner feels like, Naruto joked as he kept crawling until his ear radio came on. You're there, kid. Now quietly drop down into the computer room. My scanners show that there isn't anyone in there. Naruto obeyed and silently took off the grate. Just to be sure, he surveyed the area. There wasn't anything in the room other than the computer. Naruto dropped down into the room and went over to the terminal. Okay, so now what? Naruto asked. Just find a USB port and the drive will do the rest, the Digimon said. Okay, found it. Naruto put the drive into the port and just like Datamon said, it started its download. Okay. Judging by the information I say, you have about 5 minutes before that drive is done. Naruto let out a sigh of relief. That's good, maybe I can call back Kari-chan, he thought to himself. Just as he was about to dial the number, his phone went off, this time on silent, but it was his mom who was calling. Hello. Hi honey. How's the movie? Kushina asked. The what? Naruto wondered out loud. Then he remembered that he never told his parents that he wasn't going with Kari to the movies. It was good. Oh, is it over already? Kushina asked. Naruto cursed himself. Yeah, I'll be home soon. Okay. Well, hurry home. Your father and I have a nice surprise for you. Okay mom. See ya later. Naruto hung up the phone. Naruto, you got company, Datamon stated over the earpiece. Oh no. Naruto turned to his partner. Okay, here's the plan. Wormmon, you are going to armor Digivolve, and then we stop the incoming Digimon while we wait for that drive to be done. The Digimon nodded. After a quick call, the Digimon became his armor form and with Naruto fought off the horde of Digimon. When it was over, which wasn't long, he put a finger to his ear. Is it done yet? Yeah, it should be good to go. Naruto went over and pulled out the USB drive and slipped it into his jacket pocket. Let's go. The now Wormmon leapt to his partner's shoulder, after which Naruto pushed the button on the wristwatch. The two glowed before they started to break down into little pieces. Welcome back, Datamon stated after turning around in his chair. Was it fun? Not the words I would use, but yeah. Naruto handed him the drive. Here you go. Thanks. Now let's see what we got here. He placed the drive into his computer and got to work. He hummed. It will take some time for me to decode this. How long? Naruto questioned. Maybe a week, 2 tops. 2 weeks? Naruto was shocked. He thought the Digimon could do better than that. That's the case. Well, see ya kid. I need to get to work, he said, never looking away from the computer. Alright. Keep in touch. Let's go. Wormmon, the blonde, and his partner left the lab. XXX. Finally I can relax. Naruto sighed out as he opened his door to his home. That's when he heard the boisterous laugh of a man. Oh, Naruto sweetie, you're home, Kushina said, standing up. From the door Naruto could see a blonde-haired woman and a tall man with pink hair. Who was the one laughing? Yeah, who are they? He pointed to the two adults. You remember the Harunos, don't you? You used to play with their daughter. Now where is she? She looked around the area. Hello Naruto-kun. Naruto heard a sweet voice that really took him back. Sakura-chan. I wasn't expecting to see you here, Naruto stated, shocked. He closed the door to the place and took off his shoes. Yeah, well, my parents wanted to meet up with your parents and they brought me along. Oh, so you two have seen each other already? Sakura's mom asked. Yeah, she was at school earlier today and is in my homeroom. Naruto walked over to the adults. So how have you been? Well, good. Minato here has been telling me all about his latest books. In exchange I've been telling him all my great jokes. Sakura's dad laughed out loud again. Sounds fun. Naruto didn't know really what to say to that. That's when the doorbell rung. I'll get for you, Sakura stated, walking to the door. That's so nice. Thank you, Sakura, Kushina stated, surprised by the girl's manners. Yes? Sakura asked, opening the door, revealing Kari. Is Naruto here? She asked, not using the suffix. Yes, Naruto-kun, it's for you, Sakura called. Coming. Naruto went over to the door. A shocked look came to his face. Kari-chan. He stated, asked, what are you doing here? I need to talk to you, Kari said. Okay. Naruto was standing there waiting for her to speak. Alone? She nodded to the outside. Oh, okay. Naruto left the house. I'll be back, Naruto said to Sakura. Okay. I'll let your mom know, she said. What's up? Naruto asked after the door was shut. Is that what you were doing all this time, hanging with her? She pointed to the door. What? No, I just got home. I told you I was in the digital world, Naruto said. Doing what exactly? She asked. Just doing the usual, gathering information, trying to figure out more about the Emperor, that sort of thing. Naruto rubbed his head awkwardly. You're hiding something. What is it? She asked, glaring at him. Nothing. Why are you up in my case all of a sudden? Naruto asked. Why did you lie to me about that girl? Sakura countered. I didn't lie to you. I told you she is an old friend from my world, Naruto stated. Then why is she here? Kari asked. I don't know. I think it's her double or something. Look, why do you care? She's my friend. Naruto tried to get the girl to calm down, only it wasn't working. You don't act like you're friends. The way you two act seems like there's something more to it. Do you love her? Kari asked. What are you talking about? Naruto was flustered. You do, don't you? The old girl in your world was you love, wasn't she? And now that she's here you're still in love with her, aren't you? Kari asked. Tears started to come to her eyes. No, that's not the case. Naruto didn't know what to say. Well, I am not going to be your settlement. You can have her if you want. Kari was hiding her eyes now. What does that mean? Naruto asked, dreading what is to come. You know what it means. We're done. I am done. She turned and walked away. Kari-chan, wait. Naruto called. Just stay away from me, she shouted, starting to run now. Naruto was about to go after her but paused. He didn't know what to say to her. Maybe I should just give her some space. Naruto turned and went back into his house, telling his parents and their company he was tired. He went to his room. That night he cried silently until he fell asleep. The girl that he was starting to fall in love with was now gone, all because of his old feelings. He should have told her from the start about Sakura, and then maybe they wouldn't have broken up. It has been 3 days since Kari had ended it with Naruto. The blonde found it awkward in the classroom. He sat next to TK, but Kari didn't sit with them. Instead she sat with Davis and another girl. She mostly talked with the girl rather than Davis. Naruto still stole glances at her throughout the lesson. He was called out on it twice by the teacher, mostly to answer a question to see if he was listening. Luckily Kurama had his back and he was able to answer the questions. Naruto-kun, are you okay? Sakura asked. She was sitting on the other side of TK, who was between the two. TK had the same question, only he was saving it for later, but glad the new girl brought it up. Naruto sighed out. He looked to Kari again. She saw him, but didn't really spare him a glance. It's complicated. Naruto turned back to look at his book. It was the end of the day and usually Naruto would be talking with Kari. They would be laughing and having fun. But now it's just TK watching his friend stare at his book. Hey man, If you need to talk about it or need anything, let me know, okay? TK patted him on the shoulder. Naruto-kun, would you like to talk about it on the way home? Sakura asked. No, I have a meeting for the upcoming festival. After that I have an archery club meeting. The teacher is out sick, so I have to lead it. Naruto sighed out, the sound of depression obvious in his voice. TK. Do you mind walking Sakura-chan home? Naruto asked, getting up from his chair. Yeah sure man. Naruto turned to leave. That's when he almost hit Kari. Oh, Kari-chan, I am sorry. It's fine, Naruto-san. She walked around and past him. Davis came up to the blonde. Dude, what did you do to get Kari so mad at you? He asked the blonde. None of your business, Davis, just leave it be. Naruto snapped. He walked out of the classroom, ignoring the stares of his peers. What's wrong with him? Davis asked, looking to TK. The other blonde just got up and left without a word along with the new girl. What's wrong with them? He asked, but noticed there wasn't anyone around. Who am I talking to? Well, TK looked to the pink-haired girl. As they exited the classroom, would you like to get going, Sakura-san? TK asked. Sure. She nodded and smiled. This caused the boy to blush a bit. He had to admit she was cute. XXX Naruto was sitting at his desk at home staring at pictures on his computer of him and Kari. He sighed with depression. Naruto, are you still upset about Kari? Wormmon asked from his position on the boy's bed. Yeah, still am. He sighed again when he saw a picture of Kari and him together eating ice cream. I remember that day. Gosh, she was so beautiful in that pink sundress. He sighed out again. Why don't you tell her how you feel? Kurama asked from the blonde's mind. I would, if I could ever have like 2 seconds with her, Naruto said out loud. This caused Wormmon to perk up. What did he say? Wormmon of course knew of the fox and of him being inside the blonde's mind now. He said I should tell her how I feel, Naruto answered, not looking away from his computer. That's good advice, why not do that? Wormmon asked. Like I said before, I would if I could. Besides, she thinks I am still in love with Sakura-chan and think I've lied to her. Damn it, I don't know what to do. Naruto rubbed his head upset. He clicked out of the pictures and turned in his swivel chair. Naruto, is everything alright? Minato asked, knocking on his son's door. Wormmon quickly got under the bed, hiding from his dad. Oh, hey dad. Naruto turned in his chair. What's up? Well, I heard you talking in here. Were you on the phone? He asked, looking around. Yeah. Well, I was just talking to TK. It was about a project, Naruto said. Naruto, I am a writer. You know that. I know what a lie is. He sat on his bed. So tell me what's up. Naruto sighed. He decided to tell his dad about his fight with Kari and how it caused them to break up. Now she won't even look at me, and TK said I should try to tell her how I feel. He half lied, switching TK out for Kurama. I see, Minato hummed. Look, the best thing to do now is to give her some space and time. When the time comes, tell her how you feel. It will work out. When will I know the right time? Naruto asked. It will present itself, don't worry. Naruto nodded. He decided to listen to his dad and do as he says. Thanks dad. Glad I could help. Now why don't you get some sleep, okay? Minato got up from his spot on the bed. Naruto turned back around and faced his computer. The background of the screen was of Kari and him kissing. He smiled at the picture. It brought back some good memories. He picked up his digivice, and that's when something strange happened. When he brought it by the screen, a digiport opened up. He stared at the screen in shock. What the hell? He mumbled. So it seems that your digivice can open a digital port that just might come in handy. Naruto nodded at that. When he walked away, the port closed. He decided to test it out later. XXX. It has been a little over 2 weeks since Naruto and Kari broke up. Naruto tried to keep himself busy as much as possible, doing club activities, doing extra assignments, and even destroying a few dark spires in certain areas, but in the end, when he goes to sleep, his thoughts always go to the brown-haired girl. He was sitting in class. The school had just let out and Naruto was alone in the library working on the details for the upcoming festival. It was just around the corner and he had to have all the details sorted out in the next few days. I wish I could do the shadow clone jutsu right about now. It was at this thought that his phone went off. It was a call. Checking the caller ID, it said unknown. He answered it. Hello? Hey kid, what's up? Datamon's voice came into the receiver. Datamon. How did you know what? Never mind. What's up with you? Did you finish decoding that stuff? Naruto asked. Not all of it, but I was able to get enough of it to hack into their systems. I can now control the security measures, but so far it's only for one base. How soon can you get to the digital world? Naruto looked around at that. No one else was in the library, just him and Wormmon. Right now actually, I'll meet up with you in a bit. Well, talk then. Naruto was actually excited. He was finally able to do something to get his mind off of everything that has happened. Okay, see you soon. With that the call was ended and Naruto got out his Digivice. Ready, Wormmon? The Digimon nodded. He held up his Digivice to his computer screen, Digiport open. With that said, he and Wormmon were sucked into the digital world. After appearing there, Naruto pressed the button on his wristband, instantly sending him to Datamon's new lab. So what do you have so far? Like I said on the phone, I can hack into one of the bases. I tell ya that Emperor was really cautious when it came to his base's security. What do you mean by that? Well, from what I can tell from the information on the flash drive, he has different access codes for each remote uplink to each base. I was able to crack the one to the base you had recently gotten into. So far I've shut off the security and the power adapter that powers the Dark Spires, Datamon summed up. Cool, so now what? Naruto asked. We destroy the base. It should be hard. After turning off the power source the Digimon were set free. Datamon answered the question while turning in his chair to face the blonde. Also I can put you right in the base so you can do your whole bombing thing. Just remember they go a long way. Awesome, let's get to it then. Naruto knew the drill from last time. He stepped on the transporter and waited for the Digimon to send him away. Good luck. With that Naruto was whisked away in a blur. XXX Naruto had just finished putting the bombs everywhere they needed to be to blow the place sky high, thus guaranteeing the area to be safe from the spires as well as the dark rings. But before Naruto could get out of blasting radius, he saw the Digimon Emperor flying overhead. And just what do you think you're doing? The masked person asked. Saving the digital world. You tyrannical fiend, Naruto glared at the other person. Oh, but you know I can't let you do that, for you see I have a plan for this world, he simply stated. Naruto's reply was to shoot an arrow at him. The Emperor caught it. That same old trick again. The blonde smirked. That's when the Emperor noticed the arrow started to beep. The masked boy threw the arrow away, but the blast was enough to send him and his Digimon partner off of their ride. The two landed on the ground near one of the control spires. It was slightly new this time, Naruto commented, smiling at his victory. The masked boy started to laugh loudly at that. Do you know that there is actually two functions for these spires? He asked, as he started to place his hand on the one near him. The first is to of course send the needed signal to the dark rings. The second, he finished the sentence by causing the spurd to turn to dark data, which was then absorbed into his black Digivice. It also allows me to do this. Impmon, Digivolve 2. The Imp Digimon started to glow before he changes shape into a black fiendish creature that stood at roughly the same height that Stingmon would stand, Divimon. Now destroy them, the Emperor ordered. Don't tell me what to do, the Digimon started, but suddenly his eyes went wide and he clutched his head, then he shook it off. As you wish, his tune dramatically changed. What the huh? Naruto was shocked to see this. You're a Digitistine then? I prefer the term Dark Digitistine, the Emperor started laughing. Well, whatever you call yourself doesn't matter, Wormmon. The Digimon nodded. He too soon digivolved into his champion form Stingmon. Let's take him down. Naruto was about to join his partner in fighting Divimon. But the masked boy stepped in. He started to throw expertly precise kicks and punches at the boy. Soon the two were in a martial arts fight with one another. You're not the only one willing to get in on the action, the Emperor stated. Stingmon was left to fight the other champion alone. But he didn't mind, he was tough with or without the blonde. He started to put up his own against the other champion, but the Digimon seemed to dodge his strikes. He even threw in his own attacks. Stingmon was able to dodge some, but not all. Better change up my attacks. He started to use more feints than strikes, causing him to get the upper hand. You're a competent fighter, the other Digimon stated, but he sucker punched the other Digimon, sending him up, but not that good. Stingmon was soon held up by his wings, stopping his ascent. The battle then turned to an aerial one, the two matching blow for blow. Stingmon did one more fake hit, causing Divimon to dodge into the position of him taking a purple glowing spear to the face, sending him to hit the ground hard. That's when he digivolved. Naruto was in the same boat Stingmon was, being a match blow for blow with the Dark Digitistine. He changed up his strategy and switched to his partner's strategy, by using more fakes than actual punches. He had gotten a few good hits to the ribs like this but not much else. He took more damage than he dished out. Is this really the best you can do? The masked boy asked. I'll show you a thing or two. Naruto instantly went in for the attack, pulling out his Omni weapon, willing it to become a sword. He went in for the attack. The boy was able to dodge most of his attacks, but a couple got a little too close for his comfort. He then dodged another stab, but this time he kicked the sword into the air. Catching it, he gave it a look over. Interesting weapon. So does it just work on brainwaves? He asked, mostly to himself. Give that back, Naruto yelled. He pulled out his twin trench knives, going in for the attack. The Emperor used the sword, expertly, to block the blonde's strikes. I think I'll keep this. He kicked the blonde away after dodging the last attack. Thank you for this amazing gift. But this is farewell, I am afraid. He signaled his ride to meet up with him and Impmon, who was upset that he couldn't defeat Stingmon. Naruto, are you okay? Stingmon asked. Yeah, just a bit bruised up, Naruto stated. Let's get out of here. Stingmon nodded. He picked up his partner and took off. Naruto pressed the button on the remote detonator, thus blowing the base out of existence. XXX. When Naruto returned home, he told his parents that he was jumped on his way home. His mom asked if he knew their names, but he said he didn't recognize them. He told his dad that he fought them off but still ended up bruised. When he got into his room, he placed his laptop on the desk and flopped onto his bed. Wormmon came in through the window and sat next to his partner. Will you be okay? Wormmon asked. Yeah, I'll be fine. This is really nothing compared to how I feel about Kari. Naruto sighed again. Why don't you try to call her? Wormmon asked. Naruto shrugged. She probably won't pick up. Naruto reached into his pocket to get his phone out. He went to Kari's number and pressed send. He placed it to his ear. It went straight to voicemail after a few rings. I figured as much. He hung up the phone. He didn't see the point in leaving a message. She probably won't even listen to it. She doesn't want me to talk to her at all. He sighed again. His phone went off though. He answered it immediately. Kari-chan? No, it's Sakura. The voice of the pink hair girl came. Were you expecting a call from her? No, just jumped the gun I guess. So what's up? Naruto asked. She paused. Naruto wondered if she was still there. He checked his phone. It was still in the process of a call. Well, it's about TK, she asked. Naruto could hear hesitation in her voice. Yeah, what about him? Naruto asked, curious on where this was going. Kurama started to chuckle, apparently getting exactly what the girl was going with this. I was wondering, is he seeing anyone? Sakura asked, very awkwardly. Not that I know of. Why? No reason. She started to laugh, almost forcefully. I was just curious, and since he's like your best friend I figure you know. I mean, I was just wondering if he was free. No, what I mean is. Yeah, Mom. She paused for a moment. Gotta go. Bye. She hung up soon after that. That was weird, Naruto stated. He shook his head. No, Sakura didn't have a crush on TK, did she? I think she does, kid. The fox started to snicker. Naruto's phone went off again. This time he checked the ID to see it was TK. Hey, what's up? Hey man. How are you doing? TK asked. Okay, I guess, Naruto said with hesitation in his voice. Great, so you know your friend Sakura? TK asked, not even realizing the way Naruto said his sentence. Naruto sighed. Let me guess, you want to know if she is seeing anyone, right? What? No, I wasn't going to ask that, but since you brought it up, she isn't, is she? He asked. No, Naruto said, rubbing the bridge of his nose. Cool, so yeah. How have you been? TK asked. I think you asked that, Naruto said. I did. Oh right, I did. He laughed nervously. Well, I'll let you go, you're probably busy. Not really, Naruto smiled. He started to enjoy this. I got time to spare. Oh cool. He paused. Oh hey, look at the time, I got to go do research for a class. Yeah. I'll talk to you later. Bye. With that, the line hung up. Okay. This is kind of funny. TK and Sakura-chan are interested in each other, and they ask me about it. He laughed more. Wait till I tell Kari-chan this. But then he remembered. Oh right, she's not wanting to talk to me. Cheer up, kid. I am sure things will work out for the better soon. Kurama tried to help the blonde consul with the matter. Thanks, Kurama. Wormmon by this point was asleep. Naruto petting the Digimon like he would a cat, just rubbing his hand across his smooth yet slightly fuzzy skin. I think I should get some sleep too. With that he just fell right to sleep in his clothes. XXX The next day Naruto was just arriving at school. Usually he sees Kari at this time with her friends. Today it seems that she wasn't there, at least not yet. He looked around for a second. That's weird. Kari-chan is usually here by now. He gazed at the spot where he would usually see her. What's up? He asked out loud to himself. Naruto. He turned upon hearing his name. His eyes widened when he saw Gatomon appear in the walkway. The blonde looked around to see if anybody saw the talking cat. Gatomon, what are you doing here? You know you can't be seen. Kari's gone. It took the blonde a minute for that to register, mostly cause it was so shocking. What? He shouted. What do you mean she's gone? Where did she go? I don't know. She's been in a strange daze the past few days and then she just randomly went to the beach. Gatomon started to get tears in her eyes. When I went to catch up with her to see what was up, she just disappeared. What do you mean just disappear? Naruto asked. Like she was there 1 minute then she was gone the next. All that was left was her bag. Gatomon cried at that. Calm down. Think you can show me where it is? The cat nodded. Good, Wormmon, Naruto called out. Suddenly the Digimon was at his partner's side. Let's go. He picked up Wormmon and took off following Gatomon. In his running Naruto ran right by Sakura and TK who were walking the last few distances of school together. Hey Naruto, TK called but the other blonde ignored him and kept running. Why was Naruto-kun chasing a cat? Sakura asked, and why was he carrying a bug plushie? I don't know, TK laughed awkwardly. I am going to go see if he needs help. I'll meet you in homeroom. TK took off heading for the cat-chasing blonde. Hey Naruto, wait up, TK called catching up to the blonde. What's up? Where's Kari, and why are you following Gatomon? Kari's missing. I have no idea, and Gatomon might have an idea of where Kari-chan is, Naruto answered in order. Say what? Kari's missing. TK asked shocked, since when? Since now, according to Gatomon. Hang on, Gatomon, Naruto called out to the Digimon. Pause for a second, the cat stopped but looked confused. Not answering her unasked question, Naruto looked to his best friend. Listen, from what Gatomon tells me it sounds like she was sucked into a place. It could be the digital world or could not be, I don't know. What I do know is that I can't check out both places at the same time. He paused for a moment. Listen, can you and the others go to the digital world and see if you can find her there? I am going to check out the beach to see if I can find out anything. TK nodded. Sure thing man, leave it to me. He took off for the direction of the school. Good luck, he called back. Thanks you too. Naruto called. Let's get going Gatomon, Naruto said taking off after the Digimon. Gatomon led them to the beach where she last saw Kari. There was no one around. He saw off in the distance Kari's backpack. That's where she was. Naruto asked. The Digimon only nodded following the blonde to the sack. He picked up the sack. Strange though, she just disappeared but her pack stayed. He looked in front of him until he saw a distortion in the scenery in front of him. What is that? He put his hand up to it. That's when his hand passed through the distortion. What the hell? Naruto asked aloud. It's a rip in space and time, Kurama answered. I know that. Naruto thought, okay, she must have been pulled in through here or something. He looked to the Digimon. Let's go. They walked through the portal. To someone who was watching just saw them disappear. No way. Naruto looked all around at the same dark sand and the dark water, the dark ocean. It's been years since I saw this place. I thought it was gone forever. Naruto glared out at the water. Let's find Kari-chan. Naruto turned and that's when he saw something that made him have a curious stare. Across from him up above on the cape was something that he was sure was not there last time. A lighthouse, only this one was different. Instead of producing light as bright as day, it was light as black as night. What the hell? Naruto studied the lighthouse more. I hear something, Gatomon suddenly stated. This way, she took off in the direction of the lighthouse. Naruto followed after her keeping close as not to lose sight of her. It's coming from that cave. She pointed one of her paws at the opening of the cave in question. You mean the one with all the Digimon surrounding it? Naruto asked the rhetorical question. He walked to the entrance getting the Digimon's attention. That's when he noticed the dark rings around their arms and the glowing red eyes. They're under the Emperor's control, then that means, he looked up to the lighthouse. Wormmon, let's go. Wormmon armored Digivolved. Ketimon then went in to fight the horde of Digimon. Naruto went to grab an arrow out of instinct. He grabbed only air. Shit. I didn't go through the portal, so that means I don't have any of my gear, Naruto growled. Guess it's the old-fashioned way then. He leapt in, throwing punches and kicks at the Digimon. Gatomon was right with them, the champion trying to hold her own against the Digimon. When they were all taken out, they ran back to the ocean. Ketimon, destroy that dark spire, Naruto ordered. The Digimon followed, and in seconds the lighthouse was gone. Now, let's see what's in here. Naruto walked in to see Kari laying on the floor out cold. Kari-chan. Naruto yelled, running to the girl's side. He slid on his knees to be by the girl's side. Kari-chan? Kari-chan? Naruto asked over and over. She wasn't responding. She's not, Gatomon started but couldn't finish the question. No, she's breathing. Kari-chan. Wake up. Naruto lightly shook her, but it didn't work. Wait, maybe. Naruto had an idea. It was a bit fairy tale-ish, but he was willing to try anything. He placed his lips on hers, giving her a light kiss. At first there was no movement, then she started to stir and return the kiss. That's when Naruto pulled away. She tightened her eyelids before they slowly opened. Naruto-kun? She asked, then she saw his face. Naruto-kun. She grabbed hold of him and started to cry in his shoulder. I was so scared. When I realized where I was, the Digimon started to attack me. Then they chased me in this cave. I was so scared. She cried more. Thank you. Thank you for coming for me. She slowed her crying. I am sorry for what I said to you and how I've been these last few days. Kari-chan, it's okay. You had every right to be angry with me. I was never completely honest with you. See, I was in love with Sakura-chan from my old world. Before I died, we were going to go on a date finally. When I saw the Sakura of this world, at first I was shocked and happy to see her. I will admit I did feel some of those old feelings. But they're nothing compared to how I feel about you. She widened her eyes at this. You mean more to me than anything else. I should have been honest with you from the start and told you, but I didn't, and I am truly sorry about that. But these past few days, not having you with me, it was hell for me. Honestly, it was. I missed you, and when I heard you were missing, I got scared that I would never see you again or have a chance to tell that. He paused. This is the first time he has ever really told a girl how he felt. I love you. I love you so much. Naruto-kun. She looked up at him. I love you too. They then shared a kiss. Guys, Ketimon said from the cave entrance. Not to ruin this tender moment, but we got company. He pointed out to the dark ocean. They came out of the cave entrance. Naruto was still carrying Kari in a bridal style. They're coming back. Naruto asked, shocked by this. But they're free, why aren't they? Naruto-kun, remember last time, they just kept coming until we got out of there? Naruto nodded. I think something else is controlling them, and I think it has to do with me. What do you mean? Naruto asked. Well, for the past few days I've been hearing a voice call out to me. I didn't know where it was coming from until I wandered upon the beach. Next thing I knew, I was here at the dark ocean, Kari explained. Why do they want you anyway? Naruto asked. I don't know. Kari was still weak from the Digimon trying to get at her. Let's get out of here while we still can, Naruto stated, heading towards the portal. Hurry, I think it's closing, Kurama stated from his mind. I know. That's when Ketimon picked the blonde, the cat, and the blonde's passenger up and flew the last few distance away, making it out of the portal just in time. Thanks, buddy, Naruto said to the now Wormmon. The Digimon smiled, or tried his best. No problem. Gatomon then hugged the worm Digimon, making him blush. Thank you so much. She kissed his cheek, making him blush more than faint. Naruto and Kari laughed at this. Let's get back to school. Naruto-kun. You know I can walk, right? Kari asked. Thanks for watching.